All right. Well, welcome. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope you're all doing well. My name is Tony Manganello, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. And what we're going to learn, what you're going to learn during this webinar, is something I've actually been very anxious to launch. In fact, you're going to learn something about what I've been working on for nearly 20 years. Now, you may know this, but like my partner, John Commuta, I'm also a best-selling personal finance author. I've had the pleasure of appearing live on TV and on a number of radio talk shows, so strap yourselves in and get ready for what I'm sure you're going to agree will be a life-changing moment for you. Now, you're here today because you expressed an interest in starting your own automated home-based business, and you're going to learn about what we believe is the perfect automated home-based business, a business where you can experience what John and I experience when we introduce people to our paradigm-shifting personal finance education. You've experienced the personal paradigm shift yourself, and our educational content creates for you, and you've gone through it yourself. Oh, we got a little, just a moment here, we've got a little technical difficulty. There we go. But more importantly, you see that there is a literal ocean of people who are caught in the coalition of four's financial matrix. And they need to, and they deserve to be set free. You see, personal debt in the US has eclipsed 18 trillion, that's a T, trillion dollars, while personal savings, on the other hand, it's unfortunately rather laughable. And the paradox, that even though we continue to be the world's most powerful economy, only 8% of our workforce retirement with even just a little bit of comfort. And that's what this webinar is going to be about. You're going to learn how you can not only participate in the pleasure we experience when we set financial captives free, you can also build a solid business that can help you add to your own income for your own personal financial freedom journey. Before we get started, that you can hear me and see me just, okay, make sure that our technology is working. So please, if you could, let me know in the chat. Just say I can hear you, you can see everything's fine. Let's make sure that our technology, our webinar technology, is cooperating with us. Okay, let's see. How's it looking? Do we let's see, I'll take a look here and all right. Yep, excellent. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Kevin. All right, perfect. All right, now first, that's statistics. That's what we're going to do first, is review some of the statistics so we're all on the same page as we outline this exciting business. Second, what we're going to learn, or what you're going to learn, is about the trail we'll be blazing in one of the oldest and richest industries in the world. We're going to cover what makes this business different than other personal have experienced before. And finally, you're going to learn the income possibilities being a smart wealth partner can provide. Now, of course, after we're done covering all that, we're going to open it up for a Q&A session. And there's one thing I want to cover right away. I want to talk about who should and who should not be on this webinar. You see, if you're looking for some get-rich scheme, fine. And if you're looking for a non-professional opportunity, you're wasting your time. And if you're looking for something that you can do that requires little to no effort or investment, but expecting some kind of big payday miraculously, that's right, you're wasting your time. So if you're here looking for anything like that, I want to invite you to simply close down the webinar. No hard feelings. There are businesses that claim to make an offer like that, and that business model might be what you're looking for. But this is definitely not one of those types of businesses. I know I hate having my time wasted, so as a courtesy, I want to be sure not to waste your time if that's the kind of opportunity you're looking for. So on the other hand, if you're looking for something that can help you build a solid and dependable income, you're in the right place. If you understand that, as with any meaningful business, you only get out what you put in, you are in the right place. And if you're looking for something that you can really sink your teeth into, something that you can commit to that has purpose and power, a profession you can feel good about, you are in the right place. All right, now that we've cleared all of that up, I'm going to assume that anyone who stays with me for the remainder of the webinar is on the same page with me. So what you're looking at here, if you have questions during the webinar, there's a little bubble next to where it says write your message here. Click on that and there'll be a place where you can change the comment to a question. That's going to help us, John's here with me moderating this tonight. That's going to help us pick out the type of questions or pick up the questions out of the comments background so it's easier to identify. Also, you might want to consider closing down Facebook or any other application you're running on your computer right now, because that's going to eat up some bandwidth and it might degrade some of the quality of the presentation you're seeing here because it's streaming live. All right, so now having said all that, let's go ahead and get started. And I need to bring up the presentation here. All right, give me just a second. All right. Now, throughout our educational content, we really lay out the statistics. And the one you may remember is one I just mentioned a moment ago, that only 8% of the working population will enter into retirement with just some comfort. Obviously, what that means is 92% won't be able to stop working comfortably at any point in time. Now, these people have been seduced into wasting approximately $2 million in income that they'll generate over their working lifetime. They've just generated it and lost it, and they've got nothing left when it's time to exit the workforce. Well, I have a question for you. In a country that leads the world in gross domestic product, how come only 8% of the people in this richest country in the world will be able to retire comfortably? Well, here's a simple answer to that question. According to the usdebtclock.org, the average debt per U.S. citizen is $56,094. Now, one thing I'm not saying it's the average working citizen. I'm talking each and every man, woman, child, infant, you name it. If you're living in the United States and you're a citizen, that's how much debt the average citizen is carrying. Now, couple that with the fact that the median income for each working citizen is only $30,158. Here's a screenshot of the usdebtclock.org. So you can see I'm not making this stuff up, and they're hard to read, so I'm going to blow up the numbers there. Here's personal debt, $56,000 and change, and there's the median income, just over $30,000. That's insane. And when you're walking throughout your day, what this means is 92% of the people you encounter fall into this category, or they're close to it. I'm also including your friends, your family, your coworkers, all of them. 92 out of 100 people you know are most likely on the path to never being able to stop working. But of course, no one wants to admit it. I mean, we've all heard the saying that people would rather talk about their sex life or their marriage before they talk about money. Now, I believe there are two reasons for this. Number one, they're embarrassed about their financial situation. I mean, it's not as good as they think it should be, and they think everyone else's situation is better. And they're ashamed of their own. Now, that might resonate with you. The second reason is if they have a good financial situation and they have money, they don't want anyone to know because they're afraid people will simply ask to borrow some of their money. So they keep it to themselves. And that's why people don't like to talk about their financial situation. And when you're thinking about, I forgot to mention that this is a leveraged, this is why 92% of the people are not going to retire. Because when you look at these numbers, 186% of their income is leveraged to debt. That's an equation that makes it next to impossible to increase the number of people retiring when these are the numbers nationwide. Now, when you're thinking about a market that you're going to get involved in with any business, the market you intend to serve has to be a consideration. When it comes to offering a product or a service that offers the kind of financial freedom that we're talking about, our market is, as Buddy the Elf would say, ginormous. There are over 125 million households in the US. And if we reached 30,000 new households every month, it would take us 35 years just to reach 10% of them. Now think about that for a moment when it comes to the type of market you're looking to working when it comes with your business. And this leads into the next consideration. We call market saturation. Market saturation is something else that you need to consider when it comes to what kind of market you want to reach with your business. And the market for our products and services will never saturate. The reason for this, the advantageous market position, can be summed up in 4 simple words: the coalition of 4. And John and I want you to join us in our rebellion against the evil coalition of 4 empire that is slowly sucking the life out of 92% of everyone you see. We want you to help us blaze a trail that has never been blazed before in this industry. Now, back in the late 80s, I was introduced to a business that some of you may have heard of before. It was based on the motto, buy term and invest the rest. The opportunity was created by a man named Arthur L. Williams, also known as A.L. Williams, which was also the name of the opportunity before it later became known what is now known as Primerica. Now, without going into too much detail about their history, one of the facts that they would share was how the insurance industry was one of the largest industries in the world. Now, for example, according to the Insurance Information Institute, in 2015 alone, the insurance industry collected $1.2 trillion in premium. And just about half, a little over half of that, $635.6 billion was for life insurance related products. Let me ask you a quick question. Do you love to talk about life insurance? I mean, who really does? I mean, how come life insurance is such an enormous market when it seems no one ever really likes talking about it? And the reason is because even though people, don't want to talk about it, they know that they need it. But what if we could transform that need into a want? How powerful would that be, given the size of the market and the size of the industry we're dealing with? Well, stick around, because we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. Now, what A.L. Williams did was create a movement across the country with his buy term and invest the rest motto. As more and more people began to see the benefits of the buy term and invest the rest strategy, insurance companies, they were forced to innovate, and they did. They created products to compete with the Primerica and A.L. Williams product model, and they began to make some headway. However, those products, including the A.L. Williams Primerica product type strategy, they all had an Achilles heel. It was where they invested the rest, in the stock market. Now, back in the late 80s or early 90s, the stock market was a fairly solid place for long-term savings. But a lot has changed there too. Today, company stocks have less to do with the actual performance of the company than they do with the market manipulation by investment banks and fund managers who are controlling billions of dollars of investment capital. Dalbar Inc., which is a company that tracks real investment returns for the average investor, like the 92% of the people who will never be able to stop working, well, it stated that the average rate of return for the average stock market investor is only 5.19%. Not those double-digit returns most firms promote, which you may have been a witness to. Now, in addition to that, stock values aside, companies on and off the market still need one very important component. They need paying customers. However, as we reviewed just a few moments ago, the average person is so highly leveraged paying for all the stuff that they bought yesterday that their ability to pay for things today and tomorrow is quite frankly crippled. Now, I didn't start discovering these financial realities until February of 1995, when I went to work with a guy, you may know him. His name is John Commuta. I remember sitting in the office back in Crystal Lake, Illinois. And as I wrapped my brain around what we were doing for people, all I could sit there and think about was, if A.L. Williams could create a movement with his buy term and invest the rest, marketing concept, how much more powerful would showing people the truth about debt and credit be? Well, back in that time, the market was still perceived as a solid place for investing, and we were teaching people how to eliminate all their debts and then redirect their former debt payments towards savings, which, for the most part, went to mutual funds, which are invested into the stock market. But then 2000 happened, then 2008 and 2010. And who knows when another quote unquote correction is going to happen. And as these events unfolded, we both, John and I, became increasingly reluctant to teach people where to invest their former debt payments because we didn't want to encourage people to place those incredibly important funds into such an unpredictable market. A market that could actually do them more harm than good. But back in 2013, 2012, John discovered the private family banking concept created by a gentleman named Rocky Nystrom. Now, since 2008, Rocky has been working hard to promote the private family banking concept. And when he and John connected, it was like chocolate and peanut butter. What was so appealing was that with a private family bank, you could eliminate debt and build tax-free wealth with the same money at the same time. That's why I'm here today. And that's why you're here today. We're here because the ability to eliminate debt while simultaneously building wealth with the same money is a powerful and reliable financial strategy. We're here because we see that the combination of the smartest wealth system suite of personal financial education tools and products, combined with the private family banking concept, has the potential to help increase the percentage of people who can retire comfortably from that paltry 8% to as much as maybe we can. We're here because we're forming a rebellion against the evil coalition of four empire. Now, I can't think of a time where there is both so noble a cause and so exciting a business all in one package. Now, let's look at our cause for just a second. Now, while the coalition of four is hard at work, ruining lives and profiting from the very lives that they ruin, let's take a look at what they leave in their wake. Let's talk about financial stress and what kind of problems it causes. Now, there are some documented problems, and some of them are the fact that, according to divorce.com, financial problems are the number one reason for divorce. And it also affects your health because it's also been proven that financial problems cause anxiety, they cause depression, and financial problems can even cause heart disease and cause heart attacks. I mean, this is pretty tragic. Now, those are the ones that people are most familiar with. Let's take a look at a couple or a few that may not be as popular or may not be as well known. I call these undocumented problems. Now, about that $18 trillion in debt that we talked about, what that requires is about $1.6 trillion in annual consumer debt payments. That means after people pay for everything that they bought yesterday and they have to pay, they're paying for today's bills, that's why only 8% of people can retire with the kind of comfort, or at least a little bit of comfort. Oh, and by the way, half of that 1.6 trillion, or about half of it, is interest. And the economic impact this is having. And this is something I call the spending wall effect. The spending wall effect is what happens when people have next to nothing left over after they pay for yesterday's bills and their debts, and they pay for today's living expenses. When you're squeezed like that, you're too busy surviving to be able to do anything else. And you know what? This is the one thing businesses need more than anything else. They need paying customers. Now, you may have noticed that just about every store or every commercial has some kind of sale going on all the time. That's because people have less discretionary income. The businesses know that, but the businesses they're still desperate for sales. All right. Now, that's the climate that together we're going to impact. An environment where people are squeezed financially. They're embarrassed to admit that they need help, but they're still desperate for answers. And it starts with a simple answer to a common question. That question is, what do you do? That's the question people ask you when you're having just a simple, casual conversation. Now, the answer, commonly referred to as an elevator speech, is I help people eliminate debt and build tax-free wealth with the same money at the same time. How do you think people respond to that statement like that? I'll tell you how they respond. They say, I could use me some of that, okay? I mean, remember when I asked, what if we could transform that need into a want just a little while ago? This is where we begin to do just that. Now, I'm sure many of you have explored starting a business before. Most businesses put you in a position where you have to explain to your friends and family how you've become some kind of expert overnight. Now, you're put in a position where you have to answer questions about topics that you're still wrapping your brain around yourself. And you think one of two things: that you can try to reach out to your quote unquote warm market now and risk that you'll be exposed as someone who really doesn't know what you're talking about. Or you think that maybe you should wait until you feel comfortable enough with the content so that you can answer the questions confidently and intelligently. Now, both scenarios can be stressful, and they're also counterproductive. If you start trying to be productive before you can intelligently discuss the content, you lose credibility. If you wait until you've actually grasped the material and the content so that you can talk intelligently about it, you lose valuable time getting your business off the ground. And this is where, just one of the areas where the Smartest Wealth Partner program is, well, smarter. You see, you don't have to be an expert at first. We will be your experts. Using technology, you'll transfer all the expertise, authority, and credibility responsibilities to two best-selling personal finance authors, John and me. You'll also be offering the financial education products and services to people you know, and using our technology, we'll be doing the selling, not you, but you will get the commission. Now, here's how it works. As I said, using tools and technology, we provide your prospects with educational content directly from us. Instead of having people who know you best that you've become some kind of personal finance expert overnight, you're merely referring them to online information designed to walk them through the same financial paradigm shifting experience you've experienced yourself. And once you're comfortable discussing our financial concepts, you can be the expert, because you know what? When you see things financially the way we do, you are an expert. And this is how easy it is to get started with the Smartest Wealth Partner program. I'm going to show you, once you've become a partner, how simple this is. So I'm going to take a minute here and go to a different window. And I am going to demonstrate for you. And this is going to take less than a minute. Okay? So give me a second here and let's get that going. Once you're logged into the Referral Partner Center, you just go to Email Templates. Then you make sure you pick the right link you want to include in the email you're going to send. You just take a look at which email you want to use and click Generate Email. Then you make sure you highlight all of the copy in that little box. You copy it, go into your email client. You make sure you put the email address that you've collected to whomever it is that you're sending the email to. Add a subject line that you think is going to be appropriate. And after you've added your subject line, you simply paste the copy into the email and add the name of the person you're sending it to. That's it. Click send and you're done. All right, let me get back to, how crazy is that? How easy was that? One that I demonstrated there was one that you would use when somebody asked you what you do, and you just simply said, hey, I'll send you some information, when they said that they could use some of that. There are templates to use that you could send to your friends and family that would be the same as just like referring them to say, watch this video of the cats that everybody seems to want to show. But that is how easy it is to get started. It took less than a minute. Now, even though that looks pretty cool, let's face it. You're not only here because you believe in the movement that John and I have created. You're sure you believe in it, you see it, you like it, it sounds great, but you have bills to pay too. I mean, I'm sure you've thought about what your life would be like if you had more money to pump into your personal Smartest Wealth strategy. Let's take a look at the income potential of a Smartest Wealth Partner. Now, of course, when I talk about income potential, it's just that, potential. It's a business where what you put into it will be the primary driver about what you get out. Now, there are two types of commissional products. The Smartest Wealth University is a monthly subscription product where John and I pour everything we know about personal finance into one simple and elegant curriculum. You may already be a member, But if you aren't, let's take a peek at what's in the Smartest Wealth University. Now, if you are, indulge me for a moment for those who aren't, because I'm going to play about a 5-minute video that explains everything about the Smartest Wealth University and what's in it, so everybody's on the same page. So give me a second to get that video ready. And let's The Smartest Wealth University contains all our latest personal finance and self-development courses. Courses people have paid thousands of dollars to hear us teach from the stage. Courses people are paying hundreds of dollars each to take online. And you can get all for one absurdly low tuition that is as close to free as we can make it and still pay for our internet services.
In fact, the price is so low that I'm going to break a cardinal online marketing law and tell you what it is before I even explain what you'll get for the money.
Yep.
The tuition for the Smartest Wealth University, giving you access to thousands of dollars in financial training, including live online classroom sessions with me and Tony, is only $19 a month. It's actually $29 a month, but if you enroll through this offer, we'll cut that almost in half. We'll knock $10 off, just $19 a month.
So you have the opportunity to change your financial outcome from the dismal ending that research shows you're headed for if you don't change directions, to true debt-free financial freedom with what we call job optional income. You'll learn exactly how to do that step by step with the Smartest Wealth University. And you can learn every step for just $19 a month. You know, that's just 61 cents a day. You can't even buy a cup of coffee for 61 cents, not even at McDonald's. Oh, yeah. And you can cancel at any time.
Now, here's what your $19 buys. See, this is the part I should have said before I told you it was $19, but $19 is so ridiculously low, I wanted to get that on the table right away.
Right.
Here's what you get with the Smartest Wealth University for $19. You get the Banker's Secret to Permanent Family Wealth book. This is the cornerstone of everything we teach today. It's the culmination of more than a quarter century of personal finance experience, investigation, and teaching. This easy-read book explains the private family bank, a unique financial tool of the rich, which most middle-class Americans have never heard of. But you'll learn what it is and how it works in the Banker's Secret to Permanent Family Wealth. The book has a $17 value, and for real it does, but it's included in your $19 tuition. If you already have the book, by the way, because you already got it, you can give this copy to somebody you really, really care about.
The Banker's Secret video course. These videos expand on the Banker's Secret ebook to help you think more like a banker. They describe the many ways you can use your private family bank to finance your current life and simultaneously build your future wealth so you can retire like a banker. One lesson even shows you exactly how we design and build your private family bank.
Isn't that top secret?
It is.
But you get it.
You get it with
inside the university.
Smartest Wealth University. Now, the video course itself is a $57 value, but it's included with your $19 tuition.
The next thing in the university is the Smartest Wealth System course. This is our flagship personal finance course. There's way too much content for us to describe in this short video, but it's a methodical progression through video lessons, audio lessons, spreadsheet tools, and much, much more, all designed to help you create a financial plan and then use your private family bank to execute that plan, all the way from debt elimination to non-stock market wealth building. This course is a $697 value, but it's included in your $19 tuition. The next thing in the Smartest Wealth University is the live Smart Wealth online classroom. Now, this is really valuable. We don't just dump a bunch of videos, audios, and books on you and wish you luck. We get together with you as your instructors and coaches in a live monthly training webinar just for university students, where we teach, we coach, and we answer your questions right there. This gives you essentially unlimited direct access to 2 best-selling personal finance authors. Where else can you get that? This is easily a $1,000 value, but these monthly live sessions are included in your $19 tuition.
Then you have the Debt Free Academy. Right now, you could be losing as much as $50 a day, maybe even more, to interest payments. The Debt Free Millionaire coaching system taught in our Debt Free Academy can save the typical American family like $100,000 to $150,000 or more in interest payments by paying off all their debts in an average of about 8 years or less. That's about, now think about this, $34 to $51 a day in interest savings. Wow. The Debt Free Academy course is a real world value of $389, but it's included in your tuition to the Smartest Wealth University. Then we have the Cash Flow Dashboard. This powerful online software will track every penny of your finances and literally guide you month by month, payment by payment, to successfully execute your debt elimination and wealth building plan. It's literally a set it and forget it automated system. And right now, we have Cash Flow Dashboard subscribers that are paying $9.87 a month. But the dashboard is included with your tuition to the monthly payment of $19 for the Smartest Wealth University.
Now, if you were to purchase each of these life-changing training programs or automated systems separately, it would cost you $2,160 upfront, and you'd still be paying the $9.87 a month for the Cash Flow Dashboard. But you get all of this in your...
All right. Pretty amazing stuff. I mean, when you think about it, that is a lot of stuff that they're getting in the Smartest Wealth University. And the thing is that it's as easy as starting with the email template that I showed you how to use. That took a minute to send, okay? That's how crazy this is. But now, as I mentioned before, the Smartest Wealth University, that's just that's just the beginning of the income opportunities. Now, where the real income opportunity is with the private family bank. Together, we're going to take the private family banking concept coupled with our debt elimination and personal financial education into that $635.6 billion market and create a movement nobody ever saw coming. Now, one of the things I've been saying for a long time is you want to clear a room, tell people you sell life insurance. But if you want to draw a crowd, tell them you help people become debt-free. Now, remember the elevator speech I mentioned a little bit ago? That elevator speech is, I help people I help people eliminate debt and build tax-free wealth with the same money at the same time. Talk about drawing a crowd. This is the elevator speech I use, and the majority of the time, the response is a rather enthusiastic, I could use some of that. And this is how we begin to transform the need for life insurance into a want, because the private family bank, which is built on the platform of a life insurance policy, is the only way to use wealth building funds to simultaneously eliminate debt. And once that interaction takes place between you and the party you're trying to talk to about it, it's a simple matter of identifying what the appropriate email will be to send them. Remember, I showed you just a little bit ago, it takes less than a minute to do that. You know, when they respond, hey, I could use some of that, all you got to do is say, I'll tell you what, I'll send you some information and show you how to get started. And then you collect their name and their email address and their phone number, even if you want. And that's it. When you are back in front of your computer, you'll use that contact information to send them the appropriate email designed to get them to take the next step. That's all. Now, your primary objective as a Smartest Wealth partner is to just become familiar with the suite of tools and templates that you have access to, and then begin to fill your funnel. There are a few ways to do that, and all of them are relatively simple. You just focus on filling your funnel, and then your secondary objective is to simply reply when your funnel filling efforts generate responses. One of the most exciting things about this process is the fact that you'll only be spending face time with people who have a genuine interest, people who ask to know more. For those who don't, you won't care, because those who do are going to be keeping you pretty busy. Now, let's take a look at how much income this kind of activity can generate. Let's take a look at the commissions on products first. After well over a year of testing, we decided the best way to provide our suite of products and educational content is through the promotion of the Smartest Wealth University. And the current price is $19 a month for the subscription, and it provides our latest and greatest personal financial education tools. And when your funnel filling efforts generate sales, you'll earn a $9 commission for every active subscriber you are responsible for. And the commissions on the university are rather modest, and this is because the primary purpose of the university is to generate private family banking sales. The university's educational content ushers people through the process of helping them understand their need for a private family bank. The education does the selling, not you. You don't have to worry about it. And when they're ready, they'll be contacting you. Of course, $9 per active subscriber can add up, and you could be generating hundreds of dollars in additional monthly income over time. Just a couple active subscribers per month that you add would mean that after a year, you could be receiving over $200 a month. So while you're prospecting for private family banking leads, you are getting paid. Let's take a look at the private family bank itself, because this is the most exciting income opportunity. After you've filled your funnel with people who are interested in eliminating debt and building tax-free wealth with the same money at the same time, the education they receive will reveal to them how the private family bank is what makes that possible. Now, once they've discovered, how this works, they'll want to know more, and they'll reach out to you for what we call a private family banking consultation. Our educational content has laid the foundation, and you're only speaking with people who are serious about exploring the possibilities of a private family bank. Now, there are no tricks or ulterior motives to obtaining a consultation. I've seen a ton of companies, and they try many different tactics that, in my opinion, could be considered a little shady, just to get you your foot in the door. And once you've gotten your foot in the door, then you have to force feed them some kind of presentation that will hopefully persuade them to be interested in your product. But that is not how our business works. These funnels, the ones that we use, and the Smartest Wealth University content do the work of educating the prospect about the need for the private family bank and all of the advantages, so that when they reach out to you, it's a simple matter of showing them how a private family bank will help them achieve their financial goals. That is one of the things that makes this business different from other businesses. Between the education they receive, which is provided by us, as well as the consultation and private family bank illustration, they're seeing their very own numbers, not some quote unquote hypothetical situation like, if you try these pills, you might lose some weight, none of that stuff. And for those who may be concerned about their ability to fund a private family bank, we have the cash flow analysis. Now, let me just explain how this works. The cash flow analysis is an online tool that you can use when people aren't sure about whether or not they can fund a private family bank. What you're seeing here is what the cash flow analysis used to generate before we got in touch with the private family bank. You'll see that there are two columns. Without the cash flow dashboard basically means, paying bills the old-fashioned way and never getting out of debt. With the cash flow dashboard, which is a way that we show people how to use what we call the direct to creditor method, that snowball method that we used to talk about all the time. We still do because it's powerful. We show them how to use that with the cash flow dashboard, which, by the way, is a product that you could sell at a commission. It's another one that we have on the list. You look at the difference. Do what you're doing now with your current cash flow, and you'll never get out of debt. Do what we're going to show you how to do, and you'll be out of debt in 9 years. And you're going to save almost $180,000 in interest. Now, that is compelling, but that was before the private family bank came along and we got familiar with how it worked. So what we did was we added a third column to the cash flow analysis, and this is what it looks like now. You'll see that this third column shows that the same people with the same numbers will get out of debt in 9 years and 9 months. Now, it took 9 months longer, but let's take a look a little deeper. You'll see that in the middle column at the bottom, just like the first column at the bottom, total wealth accumulated in those first two examples is zero. Because if you're going direct to creditor, that money that you spend to snowball your debt isn't doing you any good. It's doing you good in the sense that it's getting you out of debt, but that's all it's doing. When you use a private family bank, it takes a little longer, 9 months longer, but look at the bottom row of that column. almost $50,000 in projected wealth accumulation. Now, is that 9 months extra time worth it? Let's do some simple math. In the example we're looking at here, these are numbers based on the sample family from my book, The Debt-Free Millionaire. When they became debt-free, they had $3,000 a month in discretionary income to begin investing with. And if they found, even a decent investment to put that $3,000 a month in for 9 months, maybe they'd have $30,000 by the same time they would have gotten out of debt the extra 9 months with a private family bank. So let me ask you a question. Do you want $30,000 or do you want $49,725? That's not a very difficult question to answer. Now, for the real analytics out there who are thinking, yeah, but you know what? You paid a little bit more interest because it took you a little longer to get out of debt with a private family bank. You still come out about $10,000 ahead. So the question is that extra 9 months in this example worth 10 grand? You bet it is. And how many people do you think would agree with that? I'll tell you how many. Quite a bit. Now, but how much can you make if you sell a private family bank? There are two paths to generating income from the sale of a private family bank. Now, if you focus on personal production and only, basically just by yourself, and you sold just one private family bank a month, based on the averages that we've seen in the contracts that we've written, after 12 months, you'd be making about $1,200 a month just for selling one bank a month. Now, given the personal financial paradigm shift that you'll be helping people achieve, how difficult do you think that would be? I mean, it may be if you were knocking on doors trying to sell life insurance, but you're not selling life insurance. You're selling the ability to eliminate debt and become and build wealth, tax-free wealth simultaneously. Now, maybe you've seen the Prudential that's called the Action Gap commercial. This is the one where the guy asks young people when they think they should start saving for the future. And then he goes and he asks, the older folks when they actually started saving. It's the one where the young people, they take the paint roller and they paint a line at an age when they think they should start saving. And the older folks, you can see here in the picture, they're painting way up at the top because they waited so long. Well, they call this the action gap. And the question is, why does this action gap exist? My hypothesis, if you like that word, is because most people, when they're young, believe that they have to make a choice. They either have to live the life they want now and fund it, buy cars, buy houses, and all that other stuff, or they have to save for the future. They don't believe that they can do both. But a private family bank allows them to do both simultaneously. Who wouldn't want to do that? Now, John and I don't have much trouble convincing people to open their private family banks. And you'll be able to use the same tools we do to make it as simple for you as possible. And just one bank per month, it will earn you about $1,200 a month. That's like over 14 grand a year. But what if you did 2 banks a month? Maybe you did 3. Get the picture? You can generate some pretty good income. Now, but maybe you're interested in building something more significant. You may be sitting there thinking, I want to build a team. I know people that would love to be able to make a little bit extra money, and they would be interested possibly in getting involved. Now, if that's you, check this out. Now, before I share this with you, I want to tell you this is not a multi-level marketing or network marketing opportunity. This is a business where you can build your own team, your own sub-agency within hours using the same tools we've been talking about. This is the same model that many insurance agencies are built on. Now, the only difference is that with other models, even like the Primerica model, you have to qualify in many ways to quote unquote move up. Now, there are no quotas and there are any other potential obstacles in place that you have to worry about satisfying. But there are no qualifications to building your own organization within our agency, except, of course, your ability to do so. Now, while credibility is an issue to some extent, you're using our credibility. Remember that we have the technology in place and we can train and support thousands of agents simultaneously. So if building an organization of your own is something you're interested in, the income possibilities can be substantial. Now, at the risk of sounding cliche, I just said it wasn't a multi-level marketing opportunity, but let's take that, the cliche where they say if you got three people and they get three people, and each one of those individuals in the organization is producing just one private bank per month, your annual income would be $106,800. Now, if the individuals in that same organization only sold one private bank every other month, your annual income would be $53,400. Now, remember what you're selling. I can't repeat this enough. You're not selling life insurance. You're selling people the opportunity to become debt-free and build tax-free wealth with the same money at the same time. Now, is there more to that? Well, sure. But all that's covered in the educational content we've already have created for you and your prospects. So let's talk about how you can get started. Now, this is perhaps, the most insane part of the whole deal, okay? To get started, all you have to do is fill out an online form and you'll have access to our Smartest Wealth Partner Center. This is where you have access to the email templates that we talked about and I demonstrated earlier. We've modified our own email templates so that they'll be coming from you and will include your contact information. So when the recipient wants to know more, they will be contacting you. Now, one quick note regarding something you may have already realized, and that's in order to promote the private family bank, there are three things that you'll need: a life insurance license, errors and omissions insurance, and an appointment to either Lafayette Life Insurance Company or Security Mutual Life Insurance Company. These are the two companies that offer the specific type of contract that we use for the private family bank that allows the ability to eliminate debt and build wealth at the same time. And depending on the state that you're in or the state you want to promote the private family bank in, you're going to have to decide which one. Now, not decide, but you'll have to be appointed with the appropriate company. For every state in the nation, we use Lafayette except for Alaska and New York. And if you have potential prospects you want to work with in Alaska and New York, you'll need an appointment with Security Mutual Life. Now, once you've satisfied all of those requirements, you'll be able to attend the Monday and Wednesday afternoon trainings that are given by Rocky Nystrom. I mentioned him earlier. You saw his picture. Rocky is our general agent and the founder of the Private Family Banking Partners. And, he's an all-around great guy. John and I love working with him, and we're sure that you will too. But none of those things are required to start promoting the Smartest Wealth University and getting those $9 monthly commissions. So you can get started on that right away and begin filling your funnel with potential private family banking prospects while you're satisfying the other requirements to sell the private family banks. And believe it or not, that's it. That's how simple it is to get started. However, John and I also know that there are many of you that are looking for more than just basic training and basic tools. So if you want advanced training, we're launching something we call the Smartest Wealth Agent Academy. See, we are going to be your business coaches. You'll learn how to use the very same tools John and I use. These are tools that allow us to work from the comfort of our own homes. Now, we both have clients all over the country. We've never traveled anywhere except to our own desks in our own houses to produce private family banks. Now think about that for a second. John and I have produced thousands and thousands of dollars in commissions without ever having to leave our homes. I've had experience with a number of insurance companies, and they all want you to do the same thing. You got to set appointments. You got to keep appointments, meet with people in their houses across the kitchen table, and all of that stuff. This requires time and travel and many other inconveniences, not to mention having to convince someone to allow you into their home so that you can show them how this insurance product works. But as a Smartest Wealth Academy agent member, you'll learn everything John and I do to conduct business without ever having to leave your house. You'll also have access to the very same suite of automated systems that we use. Let me tell you how powerful these are. Once you enter someone into these systems, you won't have to think about them again until they reach out to you. The Basic Partner Program provides email templates to send your prospects the information that will help them move forward, but they require you to track where they are and to follow up manually. The systems I'm talking about, these automated systems, that ones that John and I use, They're easy to manage, and they keep moving your prospects through the funnel for you automatically. For instance, someone's going through the Smartest Wealth University and they click on the button for a consultation. Well, that generates an email. We get the email and we respond by sending them a link to schedule an appointment. The appointment miraculously shows up on our schedule with their phone number and we call them. That's what I'm talking about. These are the very same systems that we use. And you'll also learn, not aside from these systems, you'll also learn advanced sales and marketing strategies that will help you become productive sooner rather than later. We will walk you through how we present a prospect's private family banking illustration. This is the document that they review that shows them how their bank can perform. You'll hear, we do this for you, and you'll hear what we hear all the time. That what we hear is a question. The question is they ask us, well, what do we do next? That's the question you want your prospect asking you after you've shown them their illustration, because guess what that means? It means you've got a new client. You'll also be invited to live monthly training webinars only for Agent Academy members. Here, we're going to dive deep into specific areas about the private family banking production process using our proprietary tools like the Smartest Wealth University, the Banker's Secret, the Permanent Family Wealth ebook, the cash flow analysis, just to name a few, and how to work with our system of automated responders just so that you can get work and up to speed right away. We'll also answer questions you may have about building your business, and we'll do role playing. So when you get questions from people, you'll be able to answer them accurately. And one of the questions that we get once in a while is, something like, I'm 71 years old. Can I still take advantage of a private family bank? The answer is yes, and you'll be able to learn why. John and I have built businesses together and on our own that have generated millions of dollars in sales. And during these webinars, we'll make sure you get the additional insight you need so that you'll be able to build your business as quickly as you can. You'll also have direct email access to John and me throughout the month. So if you need extra help, we'll respond in about 1 or 2 business days, and we'll be able to make sure you're not experiencing any roadblocks between where you are now and the success that you want to achieve. Also, in a few months, John and I are going to be releasing the Smartest Business Systems training, and that will be included with your membership to the Smartest Wealth Academy, Agent Academy. As your business coaches, John and I have over 2 decades of experience building million-dollar businesses. And business coaches cost thousands of dollars a month. You're not going dollars per month or anything anywhere close to that. The Smartest Wealth Agent Academy, that includes everything we've outlined, plus 2 multi-million-dollar business coaches, only costs $48 a month. Now, why are we doing this when we could be charging so much more? The reason is because we're so confident in what you'll learn and how it will work that as we help you build your business, we will be rewarded by your success. It's that simple. Now, many other coaches outline programs like these, and they charge a ton of money, and they basically get paid whether you succeed or not. I can tell you now that the $48 a month, that's not going to break any records here. But you becoming successful, that's going to make a dent or two for us. That's what we're counting on to help build our business. We're counting on your success to help build the business that we have a vision for. Now, however, we really want to make this irresistible for you. And if you enroll in the Agent Academy program now, we're going to include the Smartest Wealth University for free, and you can get access to all the advanced training and everything else for just $29 a month. So if you want to take advantage of about $200 a year in savings right now, you're going to need to enroll. Now, everyone who enrolls in the Agent Academy program during this promotion will also be locked in at $29 a month, even when the subscription price jumps up to the $48 a month we're talking about. So grab your Agent Academy membership now, and let's start building your business together. Our first live Agent Academy will be a week from Saturday. So you're going to want to get started so you can become familiar with all of the tools that we have by the time we have that training, so you can hit the ground running. And while you're considering this, I want you to think of one thing. Do you just want to build a business, or do you want to build a business that's part of a movement? Do you want to have something that has, meaning and something that people will be genuinely thankful to you for? Do you want to take control of your income and leave nothing to chance? Do you, or I should say, are you serious about making a major shift in your life right now? Now, if you're familiar with the smart wealth system, in one of the sessions, we talk about something we call the future you. Ask your future you now if he or she would like for you to start something like this business and see what they say. I'm pretty sure they're going to say, what are you waiting for? The fact is, if you're looking for a real, authentic opportunity, I doubt you'll ever see anything like the Smartest Wealth Agent Academy. I hope you'll take advantage of this because we truly want you on our team. Okay. All right. Well, we've covered all that material. Let's take a minute now. I'm going to get back onto camera and let's open up everything here for all right. How about now?
Well, after a little delay, we'll see here.
All right.
Show me your picture.
Here's my picture.
There you are.
All right. So I that's the first. Okay. Hopefully answers your question, Devin. We really are counting on you becoming successful with an agency of some kind, because that's really where we see the long-term play in this opportunity. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Do I need an insurance license from Benny? If you're going to market the private family bank, then you should do, because it is a life insurance contract that you'll be marketing. And inside the Agent Academy is a list of things, and we're going to also be providing this, generally speaking, is a list of places where you can get online training, and every state's got its own parameters and requirements to become licensed. It's typically pretty simple. I mean, you have to take a test and whatnot, but it's a 70% to pass, and it's usually pretty easy. I don't know of anyone who's had to take it more than twice. Put it to you that way. So, all right. Sean says, do you have to become an agent, or can you just use a smart wealth system and or private? Okay, I think what you're saying, Sean, is can you just if you don't want to be in the business and you just want the Smart Wealth University, you can subscribe to that for $19 a month. If you want to be a Smart Wealth partner and learn how we use the systems to sell the Smartest Wealth University and other products that we have, then the Agent Academy will still be good and how to get started and make the commissions off of the products that you can. The real focus on the Agent Academy is to get you to a place where you can earn those bigger commissions. Now, if you have a large list, excuse me, of a large email list, which some people do, that can be a pretty healthy monthly check. You know, if you've got hundreds or maybe 1,000 or so people that you think would be interested and they all started subscribing, the content is really good. That's another thing. $9 a month times however many that is nothing to sneeze at. All right, that's your question. Okay, and let's see. All right, Kevin says, what's the cost if you want to just promote the university? Well, you can do that for nothing. You're just going to become a partner, and you have access to the basic stuff with the templates to do just that. And you can get the $9 commission on the university, and the cash flow dashboard is another monthly subscription product that's $9.87, and that pays a $3 monthly mission if that's all you want to do. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Oh, if somebody wants to enroll, I guess we should put the offer there so you can. All right. So if you're interested in starting, you have the link now by your chat box, so you can click on that and enroll in the Agent Academy if you're interested in building some serious business. License, will we be able to sell in our sales, or can we sell across? That's a great question. We'll teach you how to sell all over the country because that's what we do. And like I said in the presentation, I've never gone anywhere but to the desk in my office, in my house. I've got clients in Texas, Georgia. I can't just off the top of my head. Alabama. Yeah, we will show you how to do it from the comfort of your own home. Rhonda says, if you start out with the university, can you switch to the Agent Academy? You can, Rhonda. What we are doing, as I mentioned, is that during this promotion, it's $29. So we're going to be bumping that price up to $48 a month, and we're just kind of like this an introductory offer. It's $29 now until the end of Sunday night. That promotion will be over with. So if you're interested in starting, you might want to enter about $20 a month. Okay. And we have any other questions? Okay, Bill says, what methods do you use to build an email list? Well, we do. There's some things that we've done, like Facebook advertising. What we've really seen some pretty good success with. But primarily, what we have is a system of email templates that can be used. And if you remember that image I showed where there is the middle and the funnel is a bunch of lead magnets. And when you look at building an email list, the best way to do it is with some type of what's referred to as a lead magnet. And in this case, I don't know if you're familiar with like the People Are Lying to You training. Okay. One of my favorite lead magnets. We have lead magnets for things like the Banker Secret ebook, things that you can offer for free or for just what we call a tripwire. Excuse me, for like just a few bucks. We'll be teaching all of that in the training. So if you're interested in how some of that works, we'll be going through that in depth over time with the monthly trainings for the Agent Academy. Okay, hope that answers your question, Bill. And looking over here, because that's where I see the questions. I'm not staring off into space like I've having some kind of seizure or anything. Okay, Ferrari says Facebook marketing to get the message out, question mark. You can do that. We've done it. We've done it pretty well. So that's one way to do it. There are other things that you can do, such as YouTube videos. And the online environment provides a number of opportunities that you can explore based on what you feel most comfortable with. So we'll be talking about a lot of that as well. Okay. All right. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Sean says, if I'm already part of the university, do I have to pay the additional $29 a month? Okay. Well, Sean, that's the actual price is $48, and we are including the university to get started. So basically, if you're paying $19 a month, you just have to pay $10 more. So you're up at the 19 to 29, and you got everything. I hope that answers your question. So you'd have to pay 29 on top of the 19. So you're just upgrading for $10 a month. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Sean says, if I'm, that's okay. I hope that answers that for you, Sean. All right. Let's see if we have any other questions. Okay. Yeah, one of the things John's putting up there is, this isn't like some locked in contract. I mean, if after, a month or two, you're not satisfied, just cancel. We're just going to say, okay. And you're not on you're not like a Verizon contract or anything like that. So you have to worry about that. Okay. Okay. So are we having, anyone considered? Is anyone considered an eligible client? Well, that is an interesting thing. Typically, when you sell life insurance, the average life insurance guy is trying to sell somebody death benefit. While the death benefit is a pretty important component of the private family bank, it's not the primary component. The primary component is the cash accumulation. It's the bank itself. And so a private family bank, there are ways to do this where the people who buy the bank, they might not even be able to be insured by the company because they have a health problem. But there's a way to do it where they can still have a private family bank, have control of the bank, and not even have to be insured. So there's a way to do that, which we'll teach in the academy. So I hope that, Walina, opens or answers your question. So basically, yeah, anyone is considered an eligible client because it's about the bank, not the death benefit. Okay. Where do I go to just promote the university? Okay, Kevin, if you want to send me a link or send me an email, anthony@smartestwealthsystems.com. I'll send you the link to fill out the partner form, and you can get started on that. Keeping in mind that they'll give you the templates to get started. None of the systems or any of the advanced stuff that we talked about will be included in that, though, just so you know. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, I see one. Devin is saying, will you show us how to integrate into our existing business? I currently do financial education training, and I think this will be a great add-on. Yes. And we will show you how to do that. So, and in the past, we've worked with mortgage brokers and other personal financial advisors and whatnot. And I think one of them is actually on the webinar. Her name is Bobby Nabinger. And I like to tell her story because it's an interesting one. She used to be a mortgage broker, and just using the debt elimination stuff was really exciting for her because, and Bobby, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're still there, you had I think it was a Yellow Pages ad that had the wrong phone number in it. Now, this is back in the 90s, late 90s, before the internet was as popular as it is. And she had the wrong phone number in her Yellow Pages ad for like 3 years. But because she was showing people how a mortgage worked with our content, she was getting so much referral business, she never even noticed. And that's the power of what I was talking about before. You transform the need into a want. It's the old strategy. It's a tactic that's called you sell the hole, not the drill. Okay. We're not talking about private family banks. We're talking about building wealth and eliminating debt simultaneously and with the cash flow they already have. And trust me, the people, when they see how it works, you are trained to do it the way we do. It's an exciting opportunity. It's an exciting business. Okay. Okay, get some questions come through. Sean, how can I get you or John to call me? I have a few more questions that may not fit everyone else's situation here. Oh, okay, Carol, let me get the Carols here first. Are we considered employees of Lafayette and as its agent and earnings tracked through W-2? Or no, you are considered self-employed. It's a home-based business. You'll have all the tax advantages of being self-employed. You'll get a 1099 from Lafayette every year. So you're free to do things pretty much the way you want. And that's why we're excited about doing this, is because the way we're doing it is the way really no one else is doing it the way we are. And it's working pretty well. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, Susan says, is it okay to start as an agent when I have to follow the system myself? Actually, we recommend that you do that. Do it yourself first, because it's called being a product of the product. For instance, if you're going to market this is why we're including at this point the Smartest Wealth University. Because if you're going to start with that and you're not a subscriber, when people say, well, what do you think about it? And you say, I don't know, I don't have it, your credibility is down the drain. So it's the same with the private family bank. If you don't have one yourself that your family's using, it's kind of hard to convey that to the people that you're trying to work with. So being on the product yourself is a great place to start. Matter of fact, in our opinion, it's the best place to start. So I hope that answers your question, Susan. Okay, other questions? And as I look, I see. Okay, Sean, about your question about calling, why don't you email me at anthony@smartestwealthsystems.com and let me know, remind me that you're on the webinar tonight and you had some questions, and we'll set something up. Okay. Let's see. Barry is saying, or Dan says, will we be utilizing the privatefamilybank.com website? You can. There's some useful stuff there. That's included if you're just going into the partner program without the Agent Academy. You do get that as well. So that gives you some additional tools. And the training that Rocky does, I don't know if I mentioned this, Rocky does a training every Monday and Wednesday that you'll have access to just as a partner. But the training that John and I do, and we're kind of cutting edge when it comes to selling the private bank the way we do. It's working a little bit better than most of the other folks in the private family bank partnership. But the stuff that Rocky teaches is very useful. Matter of fact, that's what we built on. So you'll have that and our stuff as well. Sarah asks, will there be trainings already available, or do we have to wait for the monthly meeting? Well, the first training, because we're just launching this now, we don't have any agent trainings available now, but what we're doing is this promotion runs till Sunday night at midnight. Excuse me. And then next week, we're going to compile everything. We've been compiling this as we speak, but we're going to start the training next Saturday. I think it's the 29th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be starting on Saturdays because we believe that might be a little more convenient for folks. But like I said, if you have questions, when you log into the Agent Academy, there is a place where you can ask a question and have it sent directly to John and I, so that if you have a question about something else, we'll be able to help you and coach you through that throughout the month. So you don't have to wait for the next training. You have access to us throughout the month via that mechanism, which, trust me on this, when I've had a lot of business coaching in the past, and I'm talking, there's always been a comma involved with that $29 a month to get started with this launch of this product. It's ridiculously, the more I hear it, the more I want to raise the price just sitting here. So Orlina says, do we have to target people with a certain income bracket? It's kind of dependent on what their cash flow is. I mean, some folks who, might not be making a lot of money, may have some cash flow because maybe they were smart with it. They might be using traditional savings mechanisms, and the private family bank, hands down, is the best savings mechanism that we've seen. So it's not so much about an income bracket as much as it is a cash flow scenario. And when people don't have, and this is the great thing about what we've constructed in our system. In the Smartest Wealth University, you start out, and for those of you who are part of it, the first thing that you come to is a question: do you have $300 or more a month? If you do, click here and you'll launch that curriculum. If you don't, click here and you'll launch a curriculum that will help you build $300 a month. So without going into too much detail, it's really about cash flow. And if they don't have the cash flow because they're highly leveraged, we'll show them how to do the direct to creditor method so that they can eliminate enough debt to build the $300 a month. And then when they're ready, they'll be able to start a bank. Because what we have seen, and this is because, as perfect as we think the private family bank is, there are some things that keep its feet on the ground. And one of them is that because it's built on a life insurance contract, we've seen that $300 a month minimum is where the cash performs well within the contract because of certain parameters in the life insurance industry. If you have less than $300 a month, we suggest you work the direct to creditor method, pay off a few debts, build up your accelerator margin, and then use that to become to start your private family bank. Okay, Brian says, so an agent can earn commissions on referrals and commissions on the private family bank that is created. Yes. And that's, one of the things that I'm reminded of is one promotion that I ran with a mortgage broker organization a while ago. And the headline we used was, people laughed when I told them I was getting paid to generate leads. And that's exactly what you'll be able to do. You generate leads with the sale of the Smartest Wealth University. You're getting paid for that. And when they're ready, you're doing their private family bank and you're getting a commission on both of those things. So yes, you get commissions both ways if you're promoting both products and services. Okay. The next question. We're getting a whole bunch here. All right. Dan says, do you have any online recommendations on where to obtain your training or take? Yes, we do. And they're in the agency. There's not the agency, the academy. There's a resources page. There are 3 organizations. One's the Ford company that is in all 50 states. What's it called again? Ford Schools. The others is Prometric, and then some other third thing, to quote SpongeBob. I can't remember the third one off the top of my head. But once you log in, you go into the resources page. It shows you all the stuff, what you're going to need, how to get the appointment with Lafayette or a Security Mutual. We've tried to get everything to be as simple as possible for you to get started. And because we want you producing sooner rather than later. Because like I said, $29 a day isn't really where we see the at this point. It's not where we see the business model really taken off. We see it in your production of private family banks. That's where the power is for both of us. Okay. All right. And other questions? John's over there wearing 2 hats, moderating and typing. Okay. Kevin says, will the Saturday training sessions be archived in case you can't be there in person? Yes. Just like the Smart Wealth system, and now the Smart Wealth University has archives of all the trainings that we do, so will the Agent Academy. So if you miss one or you want to review one that you thought had some stuff there that you wanted to go over again, there'll be an archive. And that right now is blank because we're just getting started, but it will be built as the trainings accumulate. So yes, they will be recorded. So I know it's kind of hard to nail down the best date, because with so many people, and so, we're talking how many time zones just in the U.S. And by the way, this is just a U.S. opportunity, just so you know, because of the way the tax laws are written and the way the private family bank works. Now, you can do the Smartest Wealth University globally, okay? And you could do the cash flow dashboard globally. But when it comes to teaching people about the private family bank, U.S. only in Canada, and I know we've got somebody in Canada that works this type of thing, but I have a contact who may actually even be on this this training in Australia, who I talked to several times. He loves the idea of the private family bank, but Australia doesn't have any mechanism or tool that can do it because it's all the insurance industry is got so much deep, rich heritage in the U.S. So that we've got a little bit of head start on other folks there, other countries. And Kevin says, "Will I have to be licensed in each state that I sell a private family bank in?" Yes, you will. We will show you how simple that is. I mean, again, we haven't left our houses I did meet with one prospect here in Arizona because he lived in Arizona. And I'm like, I haven't met a face-to-face prospect ever. So I bought him a cup of coffee at one of the coffee shops here. That was the first time I did that. But you know what? All the other stuff I did with him was online. And, I was talking with one of the folks who's a partner with us, and she lives in California, and she was saying how she was thinking, well, let's see, I got so many people in a 2-hour radius. I'm like, well, hold on a second. You realize if you do if you do this the way we tell you, you'll never have to leave your home. And it was like, what? Because most insurance people, and I used to be one of them, you had to get into the person, you had to set appointments, you had to try and keep appointments, you had to show up and find out that they're not there after you've traveled all the way to their house. This is so much easier. It's almost ridiculous. So we'll show you how simple that is. Sean says, is there an additional cost for the license? Yes. Each state, you pay the state directly. You'll have to, you'll probably have to buy the training, okay? Because we don't control that. The regulations of the Department of Insurance in each state has its own set of regulations and parameters to operate and to acquire a license. So you'll have to pay for the license. You pay directly to the state Department of Insurance. You won't be paying us. So those are things that you'll have to pay for. Aside from the academy, if you choose to go that route. Okay. And are there any other questions as I stare at the monitor? All right. Well, we're coming up on 90 minutes. And John's making the point here. One of the simple things is when you have a prospect that wants to know about the private family bank, you go to the NIPR.com and you put in the information. You tell them what state you want a license in. You pay for it. And a number of days, depending on how fast or slow that state's Department of Insurance is, you get a license in the mail. It's incredible. That's why I love this business. And that's why, this is why I believe this is the perfect home-based business. Now, don't believe, you got to realize any business you start is going to have some overhead, but we're not talking crazy overhead here. We're talking minimal startup that requires your license and errors and emissions insurance. And that's it. The $29 you're paying for the academy, we're going to help you get that money back as quickly as possible, because once you start writing contracts, there's some ramp up time. But like I said, if you just sold one bank a month, you're making $1,200 a month on average. I mean, we've gotten thousands of dollars in commission checks on a monthly basis. It's exciting. It's just kind of almost feels like it's too easy at times. And I don't want to oversell this, but the point is, when someone has gone through the paradigm shift that our educational content provides, we're not selling them on the private family bank because they've already been educated and sold. They just want to know if it's going to work for them. And that's where we'll train you on how to deal with those scenarios. Dan says, is there a commission on the debt-free dashboard? Yes, there is. It sells for $9.87 a month, and you'll get a $3 a month commission. We're keeping those prices low. And again, sometimes we're kicking ourselves thinking we should charge more for this stuff. But, we have a heart that we want to help people, at least now. All right, let's see. Kevin says, is there a question, Kevin? Can I sell myself a private family bank and get the commission? Kevin, you spoiler. That's one of the things we're going to teach you in the academy. Teach you how to do that. I've worked out a deal with Rocky, and we want you to be producing and generating income as quickly as possible. So once you get your license, you can sell yourself your private family bank and earn the commission. That was something I was going to wait until the first training to talk about, but spoiler alert, Kevin asked the question, I had to answer it. So there we go. That way you'll be generating income. It's a matter of how quickly it takes for you to get your license and to start your own bank. Typically, the private family banking partners say that in order to start promoting, you have to sell one. And this is one of the things that, maybe I'm giving too much away, but most businesses like this will say, let's say I was promoting some other kind of business. And I said, you got to be a product of the product and you got to be all this stuff. And the only way you can do this is if you buy this. And when you buy this, you're buying it from me and I'm getting the commission. Well, we're going to let you buy it from yourself so you get the commission. I don't know what else we could do, but that's how committed we are to helping you get started. That's how committed we are to your success. So, Deb says, how much time is involved in promoting the product? Well, Sean, it took like 45 seconds to send that email. So that's basically it. I mean, what John and I do, we have a pretty elaborate system. But what we're doing is we've designed it for the Academy members to piggyback on top of that. So you fill the funnel in different ways that we'll be talking about. The funnel will produce the leads for you. They'll produce sales on the university, and that will produce income and commissions for you. And when we have people going through the university, I just had over the last couple of days, I had 2 or 3 on my schedule. We're going to teach you how to have them just show up on your calendar, and you get in front of your computer and you make the phone call, and we're going to teach you how to do all that. And it's as simple as that. It's just a matter of how quickly can you fill the funnel. I mean, that's what we're looking at. Helping us break through all the noise that exists out in the marketplace. People need this stuff. I mean, they're wasting $2 million in lifetime income right now. And that's why only 8% of the people are going to be able to retire. When they say comfortably, that word comfortably is a relative term. So we are enlisting your help to break through the noise, to get to them and having that additional personal touch, because we can only talk to so many people in a day. But there are millions of people that need this product, and we can't do it on our own. Orlina says, if you recommend others to the business, do you receive a commission? Boy, all these spoilers, John, they're spoiling. All these spoilers. That is going to be taking place, yes. That's why I think it's the perfect business. Got a market that will never be saturated. You've got a product that people, when they're educated, want. You've got the educational system that you don't have to be worrying about because it's already done. We'll do it for you. John's been all over the world. I've been on television, on the radio. We have both published authors, best-selling authors. We have the authority, experience, and expertise. And you don't have to all of a sudden become some overnight expert. We are your experts. And we'll do the paradigm shifting for you. And, Walina, there will be a commission on the Academy as well. All right. Let's see. I think I see another one popping in.
Seems to be it.
How does this system assist retired military with disabilities? Now, are you, Sean, referring to the private family bank? Basically, there's one of two things here. When you say this system, I take that to mean one of two things. The products, which if somebody has cash flow and they have debt, then they need the products. If somebody wants to start a business, they can do that as well. It just depends on where they are and how they're going to be able to start. That's kind of a vague question with a lot of generalities, but there is no like private family banking exception for military, not that I'm aware of. but we'll do whatever we can to help them get started if they're interested in the business. Okay. Oh, thank you, Chris. I see that, Bobby. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, the replay will be going out a little bit later tonight, and then you'll get some emails. Oh no, that's for the folks who haven't been able to register. Okay, this is. Oh, thank you, Kevin. I'm glad that this is what you've been. This is what I've been waiting for, Kevin. In February 1995, in this little office in Crystal Lake, Illinois, I'm sitting there going, A.L. Williams did what with what? 22 years ago, I've been wanting to do this. And it's exciting. I am so excited about this because I really believe we can create a movement that is going to change the lives of thousands, hopefully millions of people in the years to come. And we want you to help us get started. Okay. Let's see. Deb, is there any way to show my sister that? Yes. You'll get the link. You can just forward it to her. That's all you need to do. Okay. All right. So, Deb, is there a way to show my? Oh no. Okay. Is that against your rules? No, it's not against our rules. All right. Thank you, guys. You're very welcome, Rhonda. We're happy that you're here. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you. God bless all of you. You know, we really want to help people in two ways. We want to help make sure that what they have with regard to cash flow is being directed back to them as opposed to being directed out to the creditors and to the banks, to the coalition of four, which we are. I mean, really, you know, this is Obi-Wan and Luke. You know, I mean, this. What did Maureen say? Obi-John Kenobi. You know, we want to start a rebellion because if we don't, who will? And like I said, I've been wanting to do it for a long time, and it's just now the private family bank has allowed us to do something that we could never do before. It really, it's an incredible. It's an incredible. I mean, I have to tell you, you know, I told you I was in, and I'm going to just share this with you as we wait to make sure if there's any other questions, and then we'll let you go. But when I got started with A.L. Williams back in like 1988, whatever that was, they talked about whole life policies, and back then whole life policies were horrible. So when John, like 5 years ago, coming up on 6 years ago, when John starts talking to me about the private family bank, and he says, he's like, it's on a whole life policy. And right away, I'm like, whole life. And I had to apologize to him about this later, but I thought, well, you know, you never really sold insurance before, so you really don't know about whole life like I do. And boy, was I wrong. It took him about 2 years to get through my thick skull about the private family bank. And I'm kicking myself because I wasted 2 years because of my previous jadedness about whole life policies. I mean, if you would have told me about whole life policies anytime up until 2 years ago, I would break out the holy water, the crucifix, and, you know, get the stake to start pounding into your heart because I thought it was the Antichrist. But when I started learning more, specifically when John said the point about eliminating debt and building wealth with the same money at the same time, I had my wait what moment, and that's when I started listening. And the more I started listening, the more I started digging. It's incredible. Doesn't have the sexy 12, 15% returns that everybody talks about. But as you saw in the presentation, Dalbar Inc. tracks all of the returns for the average people like us. I mean, we don't have 12 monitors. We're not controlling billions of dollars in investment capital. The average investor is only getting 5.19%. And if you go through the, the people are lying to you training, the third session is about the stock market myth. And we outline all of that. And that's one of the tools that you'll be able to send your friends and family and make available on your Facebook page and all this other stuff, which will get people to come into your funnel and work with you. Now, if you're an Agent Academy member, then the automated systems kick in and you just keep feeding the funnel until you get an email that says, John Doe and Jane Doe want an appointment with you. and then you respond. We're going to show you how to send them a specific kind of link. They're going to click. None of this back and forth. Does this time work for you for that time? No, none of that. We're going to show you how to use a specific link that you send them. They'll click it, set an appointment. It shows up on your calendar. And what we do is we look at our phones every day. Mine's over there because I don't want to get distracted by any buzzing. We look at the calendar on our phone and go, sometimes we're like, holy crap, I got 3 calls back to back. It's like, well, there goes the morning. And for guys like us who are doing all this other stuff, that can be kind of stressful, but it's great because we love talking to these people. And that's what we're going to show you how to do. Yeah. And like you said, the offer, the $29 a month turns into a pumpkin on Sunday night at midnight Pacific time. We're giving you so much. As I said before, we've hired coaches. I'm not joking when I say this. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars to work with business coaches in my lifetime. And I know John has done the same thing. And we see these business coaches that are charging people $1,000 to $5,000. You're getting 2 guys who have generated millions of dollars in business online for $29. Okay, it says John. There's a John Academy, but it's asking me for $29 instead of. Okay, Sean. So you want to upgrade? Sean, email me and I will work that out for you. Hopefully tomorrow. Okay, Anthony at smartestwealthsystems.com. There's no upgrading process. It's a little bit more involved. I have to do it manually for you. When will the link be available for this presentation? It takes maybe half an hour to an hour after we're done here. And then the replay links will start going out. All right. Well, if that's it, we are at, 97 minutes. I just want to thank you all for being here. It really is a pleasure to see everybody here, to hear your excitement. I'm happy that you're as excited as you are, because I'm telling you, I'm really excited about this. I want you to join our team. Let's together create something people are going to be blown away by. And we want to do it with you. Let's create something together. So if there aren't any more questions, we're going to let you go. And I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for joining us tonight. God bless you. We really want to see you succeed. And we hope to see you at the Agent Academy training a week from this Saturday. So got any questions, let us know, but be there, because we're going to get something rocking that's going to blow your socks off. So you guys have a great night. God bless you all, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.